Hi, this is Carrie Van Horn with Scott Wolf for InsideSoCal.com/USC talking about the upcoming game USC versus ASU. This will be the 27th time the Trojans and Sun Devils have matched up. The last time the Sun Devils won was in 1999, making it the longest current drought in the Pac-10. Scott, do you think that this game will be a letdown for USC coming off of the loss to Oregon?
I'm pretty worried about that from USC's perspective. I think this has the potential to be a big letdown game. I don't feel a lot of energy on campus. It just seems kind of dead. You know, I think the crowd is going to be a lot smaller, maybe 65, 70,000. It's a night game. And then Arizona State really brings nothing to the table. You know, they're mediocre. There's just not a lot of excitement. Everyone was so excited last week. And, you know, I know the team has tried to talk about, you know, they're not feeling a letdown, but I don't think you can have anything but a letdown emotionally after you're so high last week and now you have to come down. That said, I think this is an extremely important game for USC because if they lose this game, they got to go on the road the next 2 weeks, and you could really see the season deteriorate fast. So they got to win this game just to kind of keep the season together right now. So I think this is the biggest game of the year, even though a lot of people might not care about it.
Well, I hear that there are 2 spots open. Would you care to elaborate about that?
Well, right now, left guard Mike Reardon is practicing with the first team because Butch Lewis is in the doghouse because Lane Kiffin is really unhappy with the offensive line's play and with his play in particular. And then you have strong safety, a little battle going on with Jawanza Starling and Marshall Jones. And we don't know yet who's going to start there, but I would imagine they'll alternate at that spot because one isn't really a lot better than the other guy. So I think they'll play both and kind of see who's doing better and then stay with that person maybe. Or play both just to keep them fresh because all we hear about, you know, all year is that they don't have enough guys and enough scholarships. So if they can play 2 guys, then they're going to be happier.
Well, at the beginning of the season, special teams were having kind of a hard time breaking it open. What do you think about their progress thus far midway into the season?
Well, I think the biggest progress they've had on special teams is they've decided they can't kick a field goal outside of 30 yards. So Joe Houston's made quite a few field goals because he's kicking like 32-yard field goals, which is good. So today he tried a few long ones in practice. He made one. I think he missed a couple, but they're trying to keep it conservative. They're doing well in some of the other special teams, like kick return isn't bad. Big problem, though, last week was the punt team. One of the biggest plays of the game, Jake Harfman kicked the ball to one side of the field, and all the guys were on the other side, and Oregon broke a big return. So I've been meaning to ask Lane Kiffin about that myself because I couldn't understand what the logic was on that play, and I thought it was one of the turning points of the first half. So I think special teams is better, but still has a lot of improvement that it could make.
What do you think are some key points Coach Kiffin is trying to emphasize this week in practice in terms of improvements from last week's game?
Well, he really tore apart the offensive line to the media on Tuesday, and he did it to them too in meetings. So he's unhappy with the run blocking. The pass blocking is pretty good, but he feels like they're not physical enough. Their technique is not really getting it done. The big problem is they don't have a lot of options. They've only signed 3 linemen in 2 years, which is terrible. It's mostly Pete Carroll's fault that happened. So they can't take guys out and do a lot of substituting because they don't have a lot of linemen right now. So that's one of the reasons he wants to sign 3 JC linemen for next year because they really got to beef it up. One of them is Aaron Douglas, who played at Tennessee, started last year at tackle. There's another guy on Aaron Douglas's JC team they're going after named Chambers, but I think they're going to get him, but he won't be able to come until the fall, whereas Aaron Douglas will be able to come in January. So that's a kind of a quick fix, but right now they're so desperate for help that they'll do anything they can with line and then linebackers. So that's 2 areas they really got to beef up for next year.
Well, that'll wrap it up for us. Make sure you follow the Twitter page. It's Carrie Van Horn, Scott Wolf for InsideSoCal.com/USC.